Hi everyone, this is a look at formation reactions. There are 5 different types of reactions that we're responsible for in Chem 20, and the first one is formation. This is when 2 elements combine to produce a compound. Typically, one of these elements will be a metal and a nonmetal, and the compound that we're going to produce is ionic. There's a few things to keep in mind as we work through the process. Remember these diatomic elements: H2, N2, O2, F2, Cl2, Br2, I2, P4, and S8. When we form the compound, we're going to have to balance charges. Positives and negatives cancel out. And we always need to balance the equation to satisfy the law of conservation of mass by adding coefficients. Here's 3 examples. I have sodium reacting with chlorine, Cl2. I'm going to produce a compound. 2 elements combine to produce a compound. Sodium is an element, Cl2 is an element. They're going to join together. How do they join together? Balance the charges. You're going to maybe have to go to look these things up on the periodic table in the data booklet. However, as time goes by, you'll have the charge just in your mind. Turns out that sodium is a 1+ charge and chlorine is a 1- charge. 1+ and 1- already cancel out. So that gives us NaCl, sodium chloride. We're familiar with that anyways. 1 sodium has a charge of +1, 1 chlorine has a charge of -1, one of each. There we go, NaCl. We need to balance this equation, add coefficients. Coefficients is the name that we give to these numbers that we add at the front of our compounds to balance the equation. Before I even start, I have 1 sodium and 1 sodium in the compound. That's already balanced. But here there's 2 chlorines. There's only 1 chlorine in the compound. So I need to add a coefficient there at the front to balance the chlorine. But when I do that, I throw off the sodium. I need to fix it up. I want to encourage you to leave that blank. That blank space right there represents a 1. Please don't write the 1 in. Now there's 2 sodiums there, 2 sodiums, Cl2 and 2Cl. We have a balanced equation. A second example, Br2, bromine, reacting with aluminum. This is a little bit funny. When we make our compound, we always want to have the metal, we always want to have the cation first. So even though these chemicals are listed in this order as reactants, when we put them together, the aluminum is going to come first. To form a compound, balance the charges. Again, you might have to go and look it up. You might remember. Bromine is a 1-. Aluminum is a 3+. 3+ and 1-. It's going to take 3 bromines to cancel off 1 aluminum. Looks like this. If aluminum has a charge of 3+, and bromine has a charge of 1-, if there's 3 bromines, add them all up, it makes 3- to cancel off the 3+ for the aluminum. After we have the formula established, we need to add coefficients to balance the equation. First I look, Br2, Br3, 2 and 3. Those are different numbers, we need them to be the same. What's running through my mind is what's the lowest common multiple of 2 and 3, which is 6. So here, I need to put a 3, because 3 times 2 is 6. That represents 6 bromine atoms. Over here, when I put a 2 there, 2 times 3 is 6. Now I need to also balance the aluminum. Here's 1 aluminum, but over there there's 2. Put my 2 in there to balance the equation. In the long run, as we get deeper into the course, most of our questions are actually going to be in sentence form. So let's keep these 2 things in mind. Remember these diatomic elements that do get a subscript when they're listed alone. We have magnesium reacts with oxygen. Magnesium, that's Mg. It's not one of these, so it does not have a subscript. It's just Mg. It reacts with plus oxygen. Oxygen is O2 by itself. Now, They're going to react together to produce something. To put them together, think about the charges. Magnesium is a 2 plus, oxygen is a 2 minus. 2 plus, 2 minus. One atom of magnesium, one atom of oxygen, their charges are going to cancel off MgO. Now I need to balance the equation. 1 magnesium, 1, seems okay. O2, there's an oxygen. 2 oxygens here, only 1 over there. Put that 2 in, and also balance the magnesium. There's lots of different types of reactions that we're responsible for in Chem 20. If 2 elements are reacting together, that means it's formation. There's a few things to keep in mind as you work through those equations. We did some examples, and I hope that helps.